Hello, good morning students. Welcome to the second part of atomic structure. I chose this topic because this is the continuation of my previous lecture where I have started with atomic structure. So today's topic will be relevant for both 9 and 10. Students, understanding today's lecture will be very much essential. And your aim should be to understand the concept after listening to this lecture. So I have previously discussed about the atomic structure, and I have also discussed about the Dalton's atomic theory to a larger extent, where I have discussed about the drawbacks as well as the uh, postulates of the Dalton's atomic theory. Now, today when we start with the Bohr's model of atomic structure, the most important model of atomic structure is the Bohr's atomic structure. This is not the current established model. The current established model is based on the quantum mechanics, or we can say that it is based on the wave mechanical model. Okay, but this Bohr's atomic model is not just the current established model. This was the previous established model. So if you remember what we have learned in Dalton atomic theory, according to Dalton atomic theory, and those who have not learned about the Dalton atomic theory can switch back to my previous lesson where I have explained about Dalton's atomic theory, and then you can come back and listen to this lecture. Listening to this lecture without the concept of Dalton atomic theory will be useless. So I request you first learn the Dalton's atomic theory and then come back and follow this class. So according to Dalton's atomic theory, which we have already studied earlier, now what did Dalton said? Dalton said that the smallest particle is an atom. Dalton said that the atom is the smallest particle. But gradually we have understood that there were subatomic particles also. हम लोग ने gradually इस चीज को समझा है कि एटम से भी छोटा subatomic particles होते हैं. What are the subatomic particles? The subatomic particles are the protons, the neutrons, as well as the electrons. So these are the subatomic particles. मतलब डाल्टन ने जो कहा था कि the smallest particles is an atom, so that has been negated. वो गलत साबित हुआ because smaller than atoms are the subatomic particles. So in other words, atoms can be divided into its particles. So we have protons, we have neutrons, and we have the electrons. We all have also studied that the protons are positively charged, the electrons are negatively charged, and the neutrons are neutral. So we have studied about all these earlier. But the point of discussion was, the main point was the location. Okay, the location of this subatomic particle was the main point of discussion. There was many suggestion from everywhere. The first model was suggested by Thomson. So Thomson suggested the first model, which was known as the plum pudding model, and which was later discarded. So थॉमसन ने जो एक मॉडल डिस्कवरी किया था या फिर सजेस्ट किया था, इट वाज लेटर डिस्कार्डेड. डिस्कार्डेड मीन्स नॉट एक्सेप्टेड. व्हाई? इसका भी कुछ ड्रॉबैक्स है. Now what are the drawbacks we will come to know. इसका भी कुछ ड्रॉबैक्स था, इसलिए थॉमसन का मॉडल को भी, जो इसने प्लम पडिंग मॉडल को डिस्कवरी किया था या फिर सजेशन किया था, इसको भी हम लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते हैं. Okay, so after plum pudding model, a new model came which was known as the Rutherford model. So after J.J. Thomson's model was negated, so we have another model which was discovered by Rutherford. Okay, which was discovered by Rutherford, and Rutherford's model was very important to understand before we switch to the Bohr's model. So Rutherford ने क्या कहा? What did Rutherford said? Rutherford said that in an atom, the protons and neutrons form the nucleus. Okay, in an atom, the protons and neutrons form the nucleus, and this is true. We have earlier also studied that the protons and neutrons are there in the nucleus of the atom. So we accept it. This is absolutely true. We have accepted this part. But he said that okay, the protons and neutrons are in the nucleus. Now what about the electrons? Where are the electrons located? The electrons move around the particle in a circular path. So we have the electrons here, and these electrons move about the particle or move about the nucleus in a circular path. Now this is something which was not accepted. Now what did Rutherford suggested? He suggested that the movement of the electrons was in a circular path. Now please remember, the movement was in a circular path. Now this was something which was not accepted. Why it was not accepted, we will learn in the next slides. Now let us understand why there was a problem with Rutherford's movement of electrons. Rutherford said that the electrons move around the nucleus in a circular motion. Electrons move around in a circular motion. Okay, now please remember, he said that electrons move in a circular motion. Now why there is a problem with circular motion? Because in physics we have a saying that when charged particle accelerate, it loses energy. So when charged particle accelerate, it loses energy. Now let us see that we have one proton nucleus here, which has proton and neutron, and we have electron which is moving around. So electron is moving around. Now when this electron will move around, so it will probably change its direction. So it will probably change the direction. Okay, that will be a direction change. Now number one, the velocity is not constant. Okay, the velocity is not constant. Why? Because velocity depends on magnitude and direction. This velocity depends on magnitude and direction. So now you can see from here that the direction of the electron changes. Okay, from here we can see that the direction changes. Now when the direction changes, there is a change in direction, probably the velocity will also change. Why? Because velocity depends on magnitude and direction. I wonder that the magnitude is same, the magnitude is constant. Here the magnitude is constant, but is the direction constant? No, the direction is not constant. The direction is constantly changing because this particular electrons is moving in a circular direction. So probably the direction of the movement is changing, and because the direction is changing, the velocity is also changing. Now, second part, if the velocity changes, if velocity changes, then there is some kind of force and acceleration. Okay, if velocity changes, there is some kind of force and acceleration, some kind of force and acceleration. Okay, so and if electrons loses energy, now what will happen if electron loses energy? Now velocity changing, that means some kind of force and acceleration. Okay, so suppose we have protons and neutrons, and this constitute the nucleus, and there is an electron which is moving around. Now because it is moving around, when it revolves one path from here, from this path, it would probably deviate here because it is losing it is losing energy. So because it is losing energy, it will come closer to the nucleus, and then again it will start moving, and again it will lose energy and it will come nearer. Again it will move, it will come nearer. So it will be a type of spiral movement. Okay, with every movement it will come closer, with every movement it will come closer to the nucleus. Okay, so this electron will probably come closer and closer and closer, and ultimately what will happen, these electrons will collide with the nucleus. Okay, electron will collide with nucleus, and if electrons collide with nucleus, the atom will not be stable. Okay, if electrons collide with the nucleus, the atom will not be stable. Now this movement, which was electron movement, which was suggested by Rutherford, had a point which we could not accept it, because this is not true. Okay, this is not true. Fine, electrons move around the nucleus, but in a circular direction, and if it moves in a circular direction, it will lose energy, and if it lose energy, it will move in a spiral direction, and if it moves in a spiral direction, a time will come when the electrons will collide with the nucleus. At a time আহিব যেতিয়া এই নিউক্লিয়াছ এই ইলেক্ট্ৰনটো গৈ কিনে protons আৰু neutrons নিউক্লিয়াছৰ লগত হি collide কৰিব, আৰু হি collide কৰিলে the particle, the atom will not be a stable. So this what he said, and because of this collision, possibility of collision of the electrons with the nucleus, Rutherford's model was also rejected. Okay, because of this Rutherford's model was rejected. उसको accept नहीं किया और उसको reject किया गया. Okay, so before we start with the Rutherford model, okay, so now when Rutherford's model was rejected, we have next Bohr, who have suggested a atomic structure. Now what did Bohr suggest? Bohr suggested that, okay, we accept the protons and neutrons to be forming the nucleus. That is correct, that is accepted, but Bohr suggested that the electrons move around a circular path. It's accepted, but in a fixed path. Okay, the electrons moved in a fixed path. Okay, the path does not change. Electrons move in a fixed path, and these fixed paths are called the orbit or shells. We have discussed about orbits or shell in our previous classes. Okay, so Bohr suggested that Rutherford said about electrons moving around, but Rutherford did not mention about the fixed path. Okay, so if we make a comparison between the Rutherford's model and Bohr's model, first of all, Rutherford told about the protons and neutrons constituting the nucleus. Bohr also said that yes, Rutherford was true that the protons and neutrons together constitute the nucleus. But Rutherford said that the electrons move around the nucleus, and Bohr also said that yes, it is true that the electrons move around the nucleus, but he added something, that the electrons move around the nucleus but in a fixed path. Bohr have mentioned this, that electrons move around the nucleus in a fixed path, but Rutherford did not mention about the fixed path, but Bohr mentioned about the fixed path. Okay, so before we jump to the next topic, let us once again understand what Rutherford's atomic structure had to say, why it was not accepted, and why Bohr's atomic model had to say and it was later accepted. So we make in a tabular form. We have the Rutherford's model here, and we have the Bohr's model on the other side. Okay, so in Rutherford's model, he said that the protons and neutrons make up the nucleus. Okay, the protons and neutrons make up the nucleus. Bohr also accepted this fact that the protons and neutrons make up the nucleus. Rutherford said that the electrons, revolve around the nucleus. Now, the problem was that the electrons is a charged particle. We know that the electrons is negatively charged, जिसका मतलब जो electrons है वो charged particle है, और अगर कोई charged particle circular motion में move करता है तो वो energy lose करेगा, it will lose energy. Okay, और अगर इस तरह से सर्कुलर मोशन में मूव करते करते अपना एनर्जी लूज करे तो वो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्या होगा, द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विल स्टार्ट मूविंग इन अ स्पाइरल डायरेक्शन, और अगर ये स्पाइरल डायरेक्शन में मूव करता रहा तो ये धीरे धीरे अपने न्यूक्लियस के नजदीक आता रहेगा और एक टाइम पे ये न्यूक्लियस के साथ टक्कर खाएगा. ओके, एंड इफ इट collides, अगर ये न्यूक्लियस के साथ टक्कर खाया, that atom will become unstable, वो एटम अनस्टेबल हो जाएगा. तो फिर ये कैसे पॉसिबल है कि एक इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इट रिवॉल्व अराउंड द न्यूक्लियस विदाउट लूजिंग एनर्जी नहीं लूज करके ये सर्कुलर मोशन में मूव नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि सर्कुलर मोशन में मूव करेगा तो अकॉर्डिंग टू फिजिक्स इट विल लूज एनर्जी. इफ इट लूज एनर्जी इट विल कम नियर टू द न्यूक्लियस, and if it comes near to the nucleus it will collide with the nucleus, and if it collides with the nucleus the atom will become unstable. So that suggestion, atomic model suggestion by Rutherford's model was not accepted. Bohr said that yes, electrons move around the nucleus, okay, but the movement is in a fixed path. Okay, the movement is in a fixed path. It was modified by Bohr. Now the question still exists. फिर भी एक question आ जाता है कि even if the path is fixed, there is still a question that a charge particle, ये तो हम लोग एक्सेप्ट कर चुके हैं कि ये जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है ये निगेटिवली चार्ज है, तो ये बात 100% श्योर है कि दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन इज अ नेगेटिव चार्ज, एंड एनी चार्ज पार्टिकल अगर वो गोल गोल घूमता रहे किसी भी चीज के साथ के अराउंड दैट विल लूज एनर्जी. तो अल्टीमेटली अगर ये एनर्जी लूज करता तो इसको तो प्रोटॉन न्यूक्लियस के नजदीक आना चाहिए, फिर ये न्यूक्लियस के नजदीक क्यों नहीं आता है? Why, in spite of the electrons being a charged particle, it is not losing energy? क्योंकि ये physics का against में जा रहा है. This particular movement is going against the physics. Physics said that any charged particle moving with a velocity will lose energy. Now this is an electrons, this is a charge particle, it is moving around the nucleus, तो ये अपना एनर्जी लूज क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? ये न्यूट्रॉन्स और प्रोटॉन्स के जो न्यूक्लियस बना है इसके नजदीक में क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? ये एक बड़ा सा क्वेश्चन अभी भी रह रहा है. तो व्हाई इट इज सो? बोर्ड ने कहा आई एम नॉट श्योर. बोर्ड इज नॉट श्योर. आई डोंट हैव एनी आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. बोर्ड के पास इसका क्वेश्चन नहीं था, इसका आंसर नहीं था. बोर्ड इज नॉट श्योर अबाउट वाई एनर्जी लॉस नहीं हो रहा है, वाई एनर्जी इज नॉट गेटिंग लॉस्ट. ये बोर के पास कोई भी आंसर नहीं था. बट बोर सेड दैट एनर्जी इज फिक्स्ड एंड कांस्टेंट. ओके, बोर सेड दैट द एनर्जी इज फिक्स्ड. ओके, एंड एनीथिंग विच इज फिक्स्ड वी टेल इट इज कांस्टेंट. ओके, अब ये क्यों फिक्स्ड है, इसका रीजन क्या है कि द एनर्जी इज फिक्स्ड, द एनर्जी इज कांस्टेंट? इसका आंसर बोर के पास भी नहीं था. बोर डज नॉट हैव द आंसर to the question that why the electrons move in a particular path, in the same path, in the fixed path, being a charged particle. Why the electrons are not losing energy? That was the question which even Bohr could not answer. But Bohr said that I have experimental clues. Bohr ने बोला कि मेरे पास experimental proof है. I have experimental proof कि इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अपना निर्धारित स्थान, मतलब अपना फिक्स्ड पाथ से ही मूवमेंट करता है. ये न्यूक्लियस के नजदीक नहीं आता है या फिर न्यूक्लियस के दूर नहीं जाता है. ये अपने पाथ को स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो करता है. इट डज नॉट डेविएट्स फ्रॉम इट्स पाथ. इसका आंसर मुझे पता नहीं कि ऐसा क्यों होता है, लेकिन मेरे पास इसका एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्रूफ है. आई हैव गॉट द एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्रूफ. ओके, और बोर ने एक और चीज कहा. बोर ऑल्सो सेड दैट द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कैन accept or lose energy. These electrons can accept or lose energy. Okay, now let us understand the basic concept of Bohr's energy. Okay, now we have a nucleus here, P plus N, and we have different orbits. Okay, we have different orbit. Say E1, E2 and E3. Now what is this E1, E2 and E3? This E1, E2 and E3 are the energy level. Okay, these are the energy level. Now that means let us imagine that we have a house where the ground floor has one room, the first floor has two rooms, the second floor has three rooms. This is one, this is two, and this is three rooms. Okay, and the fourth floor has four rooms, and so on. So what happens if any person wants to stay in the ground floor? He should accommodate himself in this one room only. Okay, suppose you have five persons. You have five persons, and these five persons are eager to stay in the ground floor. So the five person will have to stay in the ground floor where there is only one room. Now if they demand that no, later there will be accommodation for five room, no, that is not possible. He have to stay in the ground floor if he wants to, but with one room only. Okay, so what I mean to say that any electrons to stay in the first shell, this is the first shell, this is the second shell and this is the third shell. तो कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन को फर्स्ट शेल में रहने के लिए E1 एनर्जी जरूरी है, कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन को सेकेंड शेल में रहने के लिए E2 एनर्जी जरूरी है, कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को थर्ड शेल में रहने के लिए E3 एनर्जी जरूरी है. उसी तरह से कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को फोर्थ शेल में रहने के लिए E4 एनर्जी जरूरी है. Okay, so Bohr said that the electrons can accept energy or it can release energy. Okay, तो इसका मतलब अगर हम लोग कंसीडर करें हाइड्रोजन को, लेट अस कंसीडर हाइड्रोजन. हाइड्रोजन के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है. ओके, वी ऑल हैव स्टडीड दिस दैट हाइड्रोजन हैव वन इलेक्ट्रॉन. इसका मतलब हाइड्रोजन के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है, तो हाइड्रोजन का एक इलेक्ट्रॉन फर्स्ट शेल में, दिस इज द न्यूक्लियस, हाइड्रोजन का इलेक्ट्रॉन फर्स्ट शेल में रिवॉल्व करेगा. क्या इसका मतलब हाइड्रोजन के पास एक ही शेल है? Does hydrogen have one shell only? No, it is not true. Any element, okay, any element has innumerous amount of shells. Okay, has innumerous amount of shell. हाइड्रोजन के पास भी बहुत सारा shells है. Okay, बहुत सारा shell है. फिर why these electrons is there in the first shell? Because hydrogen has only one electron, so only the first shell is used. Okay, अगर हाइड्रोजन के पास और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होता तब सेकेंड शेल, थर्ड शेल, फोर्थ शेल का भी यूज करता, लेकिन अभी यूज सेकेंड शेल, थर्ड शेल और फोर्थ शेल का यूज करने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ता है. क्यों नहीं पड़ता है? क्योंकि हाइड्रोजन के पास एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन है और वो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन फर्स्ट शेल में फिट हो जाता है, तो उसको जरूरत नहीं है अननेसेसरी सेकेंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ शेल को यूटिलाइज करे. इसका कोई जरूरत नहीं है. पर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हाइड्रोजन के पास एक शेल है, दैट मीन्स, और सेकेंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ शेल हाइड्रोजन के पास नहीं होता है. इट इज नॉट एट ऑल ट्रू. ओके, नाउ सपोज दैट let us understand that a person is moving. Okay, this person is moving or this person is walking. Okay, this person is walking. This is person A, and we have another person, person B, who is standing. Okay, he is not moving, he is standing. Now when a person B is standing at one place, it means that his position is stable. Okay, his position is stable. और जो पर्सन मूव कर रहा है और वॉक कर रहा है और रन कर रहा है, लेट्स से इज रनिंग, Okay, it means that the person position is not stable. Okay, the position is unstable, stable नहीं है. Okay, now this means that this person who is running is more energetic. Okay, he has the energy to move, but this person is very much tired. Say the person is unable to move, that means इसके पास बहुत कम एनर्जी है. ओके, एनर्जी इज लेस, एकदम टायर्ड है, वो मूव करने लायक नहीं है, इसलिए एक जगह पे खड़ा है. लेकिन दिस पर्सन हैज एनर्जी, so this person has the energy to run. Okay, this person have the energy to run. So since this person has more energy and he is running, so his position is unstable, and this person has less amount of energy, energy बहुत कम है, और इसलिए वो दौड़ भी नहीं पा रहा है, यहाँ तक कि वो चल भी नहीं पा रहा है. he is unable to walk and he is standing. तो क्या हम ये चीज कह सकते हैं कि जब यहाँ पे एनर्जी लो है, दैट इज लेस अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी, तो इसका स्टेबिलिटी ज्यादा होगा. एनर्जी कम है, इसलिए स्टेबिलिटी ज्यादा होगा. और क्योंकि इसके पास बहुत सारा एनर्जी है, वो दौड़ रहा है, इसलिए इसका एनर्जी ज्यादा है, इसलिए इसका स्टेबिलिटी कम होगा. So we have understood from this fact that when the energy is more, the stability is less, and when the energy is less, the stability is more. ये इस एग्जाम्पल से प्रूफ हो जाता है. ओके, तो इसका मतलब अभी हाइड्रोजन के पास, अब हाइड्रोजन के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है. ओके, दैट मीन्स इसका एनर्जी E1 होना चाहिए. और यहां पे अगर सेकेंड शेल है, सेकेंड शेल में कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को रहने के लिए E2 एनर्जी चाहिए. ये थर्ड शेल है, कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को इस शेल में रहने के लिए E3 एनर्जी का जरूरत है. दैट मीन्स अगर हाइड्रोजन को ज्यादा एनर्जी दिया जाए, बॉर्नविटा कॉम्प्लेन खिला के ज्यादा एनर्जी दिया जाए, तो वो अपना फर्स्ट शेल को छोड़ के सेकेंड शेल में चला जाएगा, या फिर सेकेंड शेल को छोड़ के थर्ड शेल में चला जाएगा, या फिर एक जंप में ही थर्ड शेल में चला जाएगा. ओके, सो इट मीन्स इफ एनर्जी is given, if energy is supplied to the electron, it will move further depending upon how much energy is given. Okay, फर्स्ट शेल में रहने के लिए E1 एनर्जी जरूरत है, सेकेंड शेल में रहने के लिए सपोज E2 एनर्जी जरूरत है, थर्ड शेल में रहने के लिए E3 एनर्जी जरूरत है, फोर्थ शेल में रहने के लिए E4 एनर्जी जरूरत है. ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स E1 में बैठा है. ओके, दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इज इन द शेल E1. अगर उसको एनर्जी दिया जाए तो वो क्या करेगा, वो E2 में जंप कर जाएगा, ही विल जंप टू E2. और ज्यादा एनर्जी दिया जाए तो वो E1 से डायरेक्ट E3 में चला जाएगा, या फिर E4 में भी चला जाएगा, या फिर E5 में भी जा सकता है. ओके, डिपेंडिंग ऑन उस पे कितना एनर्जी दिया जाता है. जितना ज्यादा एनर्जी दिया जाएगा उतना ही वो अनस्टेबल बन जाएगा. ओके, जितना ज्यादा एनर्जी दिया जाएगा उतना ही वो अनस्टेबल में चला जाएगा, और वो जंप करके किसी दूसरे शेल में चला जाएगा. ओके, सो it depends upon that how much energy is being supplied to the electrons. Okay, so this is what is there till your 9th class and 10th class till here, but I would like to go a little bit further to this lesson. Okay, so how इज एनर्जी गिवन? अभी आप लोगों ने बोला कि सर, अभी आपने बताया कि कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स सपोज ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है जो फर्स्ट शेल में घूम रहा है, ये सेकंड शेल है, ये थर्ड शेल है, ये फर्स्ट शेल में घूम रहा है। तो मैंने अभी कहा कि इस पे अगर कोई एनर्जी दिया जाएगा, अगर इस इलेक्ट्रॉन पे एनर्जी सप्लाई किया जाएगा, तो वो इलेक्ट्रॉन फर्स्ट शेल छोड़ के सेकेंड शेल या फिर डायरेक्टली थर्ड शेल या फिर कोई दूसरे और शेल में चला जाएगा। बट द क्वेश्चन इज कि सर इसको एनर्जी मिलेगा कैसे? दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन, इसको कोई एनर्जी मिलेगा कैसे? ना तो वो कॉम्प्लेन पीता है, ना कोई हॉर्लिक्स या फिर कोई बॉर्नविटा या माइलो इस तरह का कोई ड्रिंक है, एनर्जी ड्रिंक है जो पी के एकदम से वो एनर्जी मिल जाएगा और वो जंप करना शुरू कर जाएगा। ये दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल। तो उसका इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एनर्जी आता कहाँ है? व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन इज नाउ, व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी? व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी? दिस इज द क्वेश्चन एट दिस पोजिशन कि सोर्स क्या है। ओके, so when we talk about the source of energy, we come to the concept of electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation. Okay, and this electromagnetic radiation is what we call EMR. Fine. Okay, now what is this EMR? The EMR, the whatever the names which I have written, the cosmic rays, the gamma rays, the X-rays, the ultraviolet rays, the visible light, the infrared and the microwave, the radio waves, these are nothing but these are the sources of energy. Okay, these are the sources of energy. Now these sources of energy are, you can say, non-continuous. Now what do you mean by non-continuous? Okay, what do you mean by non-continuous? Now to understand the process of non-continuous, we have to understand an example of say two cars. Okay, we have to understand the example of two cars. Okay, this is car A, and let us consider another car. This is car B. Okay, this is car A and this is car B. Both of them are traveling from Delhi to say Guwahati. Okay, the car B is also traveling from Delhi to Guwahati. Now what car A does, car A starts from Delhi and continuously moves to reach its destination Guwahati. ओके, लेकिन कार बी ने क्या किया? कार बी ने सबसे पहले दिल्ली से आके लखनऊ में रुका, फिर अगले दिन वो लखनऊ से चल के आके सिलीगुड़ी में रुका। ओके, फिर अगले दिन वो सिलीगुड़ी से चल के वो गुवाहाटी में आके रुक गया। Now if we compare car A and compare car B, we will see that car A has traveled from Delhi to Guwahati in a continuous way. कहीं पर भी वो नहीं रुका, डायरेक्टली दिल्ली से छोड़ा और डायरेक्टली आके गुवाहाटी में रुक गया। लेकिन कार बी जो है वो सबसे पहले दिल्ली से आके लखनऊ में रुका, फिर लखनऊ में अगले दिन वो आके सिलीगुड़ी में रुका, फिर अगले दिन सिलीगुड़ी से वो गुवाहाटी में आके रुका। तो कार बी का मूवमेंट को हम लोग क्या कहेंगे? कार बी का मूवमेंट को हम लोग नॉन कंटिन्यूअस कहेंगे। ओके, वी विल से एज नॉन कंटिन्यूअस। कार बी ने कंटिन्यूअसली दिल्ली से गुवाहाटी तक नहीं गया, कार बी ने रुक रुक के दिल्ली से गुवाहाटी का सफर तय किया. So the movement of car B is a non-continuous way. So these sources of energy, whether it be the cosmic ray, whether it be the gamma ray, whether it be the X-ray, ultraviolet ray, visible light, infrared, whatever it may be, the sources of energy are also in a non-continuous way. So what are the how does the wave carry energy? ये सब जो wave है, these waves ये कैसे energy carry करते हैं? The waves carry energy in small packets, okay, in very small packets. छोटे 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 पैकेट्स में these waves carry the energy. সৰু সৰু পেকেটত energy carry কৰি থাকে, and these packets, this carrying of energy is in a non-continuous process. Now ये जो छोटा छोटा पैकेट्स है, इन छोटा छोटा पैकेट्स को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? इन छोटा छोटा पैकेट्स को हम लोग लाइट, अगर हम लोग लाइट के बारे में बोले तो वी कॉल दिस एनर्जी, पैकेट्स ऑफ एनर्जी एज फोटॉन्स. हम लोग फोटॉन्स कहते हैं. एंड बिकॉज दीज energy carrying is non-continuous, we said the energy is quantized. The energy is quantized. Okay, we say that the energy is quantized. Now what is this quantized means? The quantized means non-continuous. Okay, quantize means non-continuous. Okay, quantize means non-continuous. So because the wave is carrying the energy in a non-continuous way, we said that the energy is quantized. Okay, और ये एक छोटा पैकेट जो है, इस छोटे पैकेट को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? इस छोटे पैकेट को हम लोग we call it as a quanta. Okay, we call the small packets as a quanta. QUANTA, quanta. Okay, और light के बारे में, अगर in case of light, these packets are called photons. Okay, okay, so let us consider one packet, or we can say that quanta of energy to be E, then E is directly proportional to nu. Now what is nu? Nu is nothing but the frequency of wave. Okay, nu is nothing but the frequency of the wave, which implies, तो यहाँ पे तो एक इम्प्लाई साइन है, प्रोपोर्शनल साइन है. इस प्रोपोर्शनल साइन को अगर हम लोग हटाना चाहे तो हमें एक इक्वल टू साइन में कन्वर्ट करना चाहे तो हमें एक कांस्टेंट यूज किया जाता है. तो इस कांस्टेंट पे यहाँ पे हम लोग h का यूज करेंगे. ओके, सो वी कैन राइट एज E is equal to h nu. Now what is this h? This h is nothing but this is a Planck's constant. Okay, this is a Planck's constant. Now what is Planck's constant? Planck's constant is a constant value which was given by Planck, and the value of the Planck's constant is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Okay, so this is the value of h, or Planck's constant. So we can also say, or E is equal to hc by lambda. Okay, the lambda is the wavelength. Okay, lambda is the wavelength. Okay, or we can say that nu is equal to V by lambda. Okay, so these are the energies of one packets of the quanta energy which is transmitted or carried by the EMR or the electromagnetic radiation. Now let us consider our visible light. Now what is visible light? We have studied earlier that visible light is nothing but it is the mixture of the seven lights. And what is the seven lights? It is Vigor. Okay, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Now when these lights come in a single manner, okay, these lights are called monochromatic light. Okay, monochromatic light means the lights are coming separately. It's not the mixture of all the seven lights, but there are separate lights which is coming. Say only red light is coming, okay, it's being emitted. Then these red light will bring small packets or small quantas of energy, and these quanta of energy which is emitted from the red light will have or will be the same. Okay, will be the same. Okay, now suppose it's X-ray. Let us consider X-ray. If X-ray is coming, so X-ray will be bringing with itself millions of packets. Okay, millions of packets of energy, but the packets will be the same. Okay, now X-ray has very high energy. Okay, the energy level of X-ray is very high, and because it has very high energy, it is used in medical term. Okay, now it has the power to penetrate. इतना powerful है कि it has the power to penetrate into our muscles. Okay, लेकिन it does not penetrate the bone. ये अपना बोन्स को या फिर हड्डी को पेनिट्रेट करके निकल नहीं सकते. डज नॉट पेनिट्रेट्स द बोन. लेकिन ये अपना मसल्स को पेनिट्रेट कर सकते हैं, और इसी के वजह से हम लोग एक्सरे को बोन स्टडी के लिए वी यूटिलाइज द एक्सरे. Okay, so apart from radiation, let us not consider a radiation. Radiation अपने साथ एनर्जी लाता है. Okay, now apart from radiation, क्या सिर्फ ये अभी जो हम लोगों ने EMR के बारे में बात किया, क्या सिर्फ ये इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन ही अपने इज द ओनली सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी? क्या वो ओनली सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी है? ओनली सोर्स है? नहीं. These EMR are not the only source. Why? Because suppose we consider an electron, and this electron is moving with a velocity, v. एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है जो v velocity के साथ मूव कर रहा है. So if this electron is moving with a velocity b, क्या इसके पास एनर्जी होगा? Yes, this will possess some energy, and what will be that energy? The energy will be is equal to half mv square. कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अगर v वेलोसिटी के साथ मूव कर रहा है तो उस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के पास एनर्जी होगा, और वो एनर्जी कितना होगा? वो एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू हाफ mv स्क्वायर के बराबर होगा. So it does not mean that the EMR is only source or is the only source of energy. There can be other source of energy also. Okay, there can be other source of energy also.